The quantum arrays at Luna Base hummed quietly in the artificial atmosphere of Dome 7. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at her monitoring screens, her dark eyes reflecting the endless stream of data that represented humanity's perpetual search for extraterrestrial intelligence. After 15 years of watching these screens, she'd learned to find beauty in the cosmic background radiation, in the silent songs of distant pulsars, in the rhythmic dance of binary stars. But today, something was different. "Director Matthews," she called, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "I think you need to see this." The array had picked up something unprecedented, a signal that didn't match any known astronomical phenomenon. It pulsed with mathematical precision, carrying patterns too complex to be natural, too alien to be human. Within hours, Luna Base transformed from a quiet research facility into the epicenter of humanity's most significant discovery. Military personnel and civilian scientists crowded the command center as Dr. Chen presented her findings. The signal originates from a star system approximately 300 light-years from Earth, she explained, projecting a holographic map of the relevant sector. But here's what's extraordinary. It's not traveling at light speed. It's moving through subspace, arriving almost instantaneously. Admiral James Torres, the highest-ranking military officer present, leaned forward. "You're saying whoever sent this has faster-than-light communication capabilities?" "Yes, but that's not the most pressing matter." Dr. Chen pulled up the decoded portions of the message. "This is a distress call. The Meridians, that's what they call themselves, are facing extinction." The message played in translated form, a symphony of desperate mathematics and encoded pleas for help. The Meridians described themselves as a crystalline species, silicon-based life forms that had achieved spacefaring civilization millennia ago. They spoke of a threat, the Nexus, a machine empire that consumed entire worlds, converting all available matter into computational resources. "They've lost 80% of their territory in the past year alone," Dr. Chen continued. "Their remaining colonies are under siege. They're reaching out to any civilization capable of receiving their message, warning them about the Nexus, and—" She paused, requesting assistance. The room erupted in overlapping conversations. Humanity had barely established its first colonies on Mars and Luna. Their most advanced ships were still testing experimental FTL drives. How could they possibly help a civilization hundreds of light-years away? Admiral Torres raised his hand for silence. "Do we have any reason to believe this isn't a trap? Some kind of lure to reveal our position to this machine empire?" Dr. Chen shook her head. "The message includes vast amounts of scientific data, their biology, technology, star charts. If they wanted to trap us, they're giving away far too much valuable information. Besides," she projected another set of data. "The Nexus's expansion pattern suggests they'll reach our sector of space within 50 years, whether we respond or not." President Sarah Okonjo's face appeared on the main screen, joining the emergency meeting from Earth. "What are our options?" Admiral Torres straightened. "The UEF Hyperion and her sister ships have completed FTL testing. They're not warships, but they're the most advanced vessels humanity has ever built. With the drive specifications the Meridians included in their message, we could reach them in approximately 2 months." "And then what?" someone asked. "We just fight an empire of machines." Dr. Chen spoke up. "The Meridians aren't asking us to fight their war. They're asking for innovation, for new perspectives. The Nexus operates on pure logic, predictable patterns. They've never encountered human unpredictability, our capacity for lateral thinking." President Okonjo was quiet for a long moment. "If we do nothing, we're condemning an entire species to extinction and possibly ensuring our own future conflict with this Nexus. If we help, we're risking human lives in a war light-years from home." She looked around the room. "I want options on my desk in 6 hours. Humanity's response to our first contact cannot be silence." As the meeting dispersed, Dr. Chen returned to her station. The Meridian signal continued its rhythmic pulse, a lighthouse in the cosmic dark. She thought about human history, about all the times smaller forces had overcome seemingly insurmountable odds through creativity, determination, and the simple refusal to accept defeat. Perhaps that's what the Meridians needed most. Not humanity's weapons or technology, but their indomitable spirit, their ability to find solutions where none seemed possible. As she began composing humanity's first response to an alien civilization, Dr. Chen couldn't help but smile. The universe was about to learn why humanity had survived every catastrophe their harsh world had thrown at them. The age of Earth's isolation was over. Humanity's chapter in the cosmic story was about to begin, written in stars and sacrifice, in courage and determination. The Meridians had reached out across the void, and humanity would answer, not with silence, but with hope. The massive hangar of the Orbital Defense Station Alpha buzzed with activity as engineers and technicians swarmed around the UEF Hyperion. The vessel's sleek hull gleamed under the artificial lights, its experimental quantum drive arrays humming with barely contained power. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood at the observation deck, watching her crew make final preparations for humanity's first interstellar rescue mission. Having second thoughts, Admiral Torres appeared beside her, his weathered face reflecting in the reinforced glass. "No, sir," Maya replied, her eyes fixed on the ship. "Just wondering if we're ready for what we'll find out there." The past month had been a blur of preparation. After President Okonjo's authorization of Operation Starbridge, the United Earth Fleet had transformed its exploration vessels into a makeshift combat force. The Hyperion and her 4 sister ships, Phoenix, Artemis, Orion, and Helios, represented humanity's best hope for reaching the Meridians in time. Dr. Chen had joined the Hyperion's crew as chief xenobiologist and communications specialist. Her ongoing exchanges with the Meridians had revealed more about their crystalline civilization and the nature of their enemy. The Nexus wasn't just consuming worlds. It was converting all matter into computational resources, seeking to transform the galaxy into one vast processing network. "Final systems check complete," announced Commander David Park, Maya's second-in-command, through the intercom. "All ships report ready for departure." Maya turned to Admiral Torres. "Permission to begin launch sequence, sir." The Admiral nodded, then surprised her by extending his hand. "Give them hell, Captain. Show them what humanity can do." The bridge of the Hyperion was a symphony of advanced technology and human ingenuity. Maya settled into her command chair, surrounded by holographic displays showing ship status, crew positions, and the complex calculations required for FTL travel. "All hands, this is the captain," she announced shipwide. "In 10 minutes, we'll make history as the first humans to attempt interstellar combat operations. We carry with us not just the hopes of Earth, but of an entire alien civilization counting on our help. Whatever we find out there, remember, humanity didn't get to the stars by backing down from challenges." Dr. Chen worked at her station, monitoring the enhanced communications array she'd designed based on Meridian technology. "Latest update from the Meridian Defense Force," she reported. "They've lost 2 more colonial systems, but their main fleet has consolidated around their homeworld. They're holding, barely." "Then we better not keep them waiting," Maya replied. "Commander Park, begin launch sequence. Lieutenant Evans, plot FTL course using the Meridian navigational data." The 5 ships of Operation Starbridge rose from Earth's orbital dock in perfect formation. Their quantum drives spooled up, creating microscopic tiers in space-time that would allow them to slip between the conventional rules of physics. "All ships report ready for quantum jump," Park announced. "Awaiting your command." Maya took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. "Execute jump sequence. Let's go make some friends." The quantum jump was unlike anything human physics had predicted. The ships didn't so much travel through space as slide between its layers, following paths that existed in dimensions beyond human perception. The Meridian navigational data proved invaluable, showing them safe routes through the quantum foam that their own sensors couldn't detect. During the journey, the crew trained relentlessly. Combat simulations, emergency procedures, and first contact protocols filled their days. Dr. Chen worked with the tactical team, helping them understand Nexus attack patterns based on Meridian intelligence. They're predictable, she explained during one briefing. The Nexus operates on pure logic, unable to comprehend or adapt to irrational actions. That's why they've consistently defeated the Meridians, whose crystalline nature makes them equally logical and predictable. But humans, Maya added, are anything but predictable. 2 weeks into their journey, they received a disturbing update from the Meridians. The Nexus had launched a major offensive against the Meridian homeworld. The alien civilization's last stronghold was under direct assault. Can we increase speed? Maya asked during an emergency conference with her sister ship captains. The quantum drives are already running at 110% capacity, Captain Sarah Chen of the Phoenix replied. Push them harder, and we risk molecular destabilization. The Meridians knew the risks when they called for help. Captain James Wong of the Artemis added, they'll hold out. They have to. Maya studied the tactical projections, her mind racing through options. Dr. Chen, could we use the Meridian communication technology to send them tactical advice? Help them hold out until we arrive. The scientist nodded slowly. Yes, but anything we send would be intercepted by the Nexus. We'd be revealing our strategies before we even arrive. Then we send them bad advice, Maya said, a plan forming in her mind. We tell them exactly what the Nexus would expect logical beings to do. Let the machines think they've intercepted our battle plans. Meanwhile, we prepare something completely different. The other captains caught on quickly. For the next week, they transmitted detailed tactical proposals to the Meridians, knowing the Nexus would intercept them. Each plan was perfectly logical, thoroughly documented, and completely false. As they approached Meridian space, Maya gathered her crew for one final briefing. The Nexus thinks it knows what to expect from us. It's preparing to counter strategies we have no intention of using. When we arrive, we're going to show them something they've never seen before: human chaos theory in action. The crew's determined faces reflected her own resolve. They were about to teach an empire of machines a lesson about the one force their logic couldn't compute: human unpredictability. The Hyperion emerged from quantum space into a scene of devastating beauty. The Meridian homeworld hung against the backdrop of space like a massive diamond, its crystalline surface refracting starlight in prismatic displays. But surrounding this jewel of a planet was a web of destruction. The Nexus fleet, vast and geometric, methodically laying siege to the last Meridian stronghold. Multiple Nexus capital ships detected, Commander Park reported, his voice tight. Their technology. It's unlike anything we've ever seen. The Nexus vessels were perfect geometric shapes, cubes, spheres, and pyramids that seemed to defy conventional engineering. They moved with impossible precision, their formations maintaining mathematical perfection even in combat. Meridian Defense Fleet holding position in high orbit, Lieutenant Evans added. Their numbers are significantly reduced from last report. Maya activated the communication array. This is Captain Rodriguez of the UEF Hyperion to Meridian Command. We've brought some friends, and we're ready to crash this party. The response came in crystalline tones, translated by Dr. Chen's systems. Human vessels, your arrival is unexpected. The Nexus intercepted your tactical plans. Their fleet is positioned to counter those strategies. Maya allowed herself a small smile. That was the idea. All ships, initiate Operation Chaos. Show these machines what humanity does best. The 5 Earth ships broke formation in ways that must have seemed completely random to the Nexus's logical sensors. The Phoenix and Artemis accelerated directly toward the largest concentration of enemy ships, then cut their quantum drives at the last second, using the massive machine's own gravity to slingshot around them at impossible angles. Nexus vessels adjusting formation, Park reported. They're trying to establish firing solutions, but our movement patterns aren't matching any known combat algorithms. They're looking for logic where there isn't any, Maya replied. Lieutenant Evans, deploy the gravitic mines. The Hyperion released its experimental weapons, devices that created localized distortions in space-time. The Nexus ships, operating on precise mathematical principles, couldn't compensate fast enough for the unpredictable gravitational fluctuations. Their perfect formations began to break apart. Meridian Command. Maya broadcast. Your crystal ships can refract energy weapons, correct? Affirmative, but the Nexus adapted to this defense. Perfect. Captain Wong, you're up. The Orion and Helios had modified their shields to emit prismatic energy patterns copied from Meridian crystal structures. When the Nexus ships fired their energy weapons, the human vessels didn't just deflect them. They redirected them in chaotic patterns that the machines couldn't predict. Nexus fleet showing signs of confusion, Dr. Chen reported, studying their behavior patterns. Their responses are becoming erratic. They've never encountered an enemy that deliberately introduces chaos into battle tactics. The Meridian ships, catching on to the human strategy, began breaking their own logical patterns. The crystalline vessels moved in ways that complemented the human fleet's apparent randomness, creating a battlefield that defied computational prediction. But the Nexus was far from defeated. A massive cubic vessel, presumably their flagship, began transforming, its perfect geometry reshaping into something more organic, more adaptable. They're learning, Maya observed. Time for Phase 2. All ships. Execute Protocol Pandemonium. The human fleet had loaded their computer systems with conflicting sensor data and battle scenarios. When the Nexus attempted to hack their networks, as the Meridians had warned they would, they encountered what appeared to be system chaos. Error messages, conflicting commands, and paradoxical data streams overwhelmed the machine intelligence's logical processors. It's working, Dr. Chen announced excitedly. The Nexus ships near our data broadcast are showing signs of cognitive disruption. They can't process information that deliberately contradicts itself. Maya keyed the fleet-wide channel. All ships, concentrate fire on any vessel showing signs of confusion. The Meridians taught them that every effect has a logical cause. Let's show them what happens when humans decide to be the chaos in the system. The battle transformed into something unprecedented in either human or Meridian military history. Human ships performed maneuvers that bordered on suicidal, knowing the Nexus couldn't compute responses fast enough. Meridian vessels amplified the chaos, their crystalline structures creating unpredictable refractions of weapons fire. Nexus fleet breaking formation, Park reported, unable to keep the amazement from his voice. Multiple vessels showing signs of systemic failure. The massive cubic flagship, still attempting to adapt to human battle tactics, found itself caught in a crossfire between the Hyperion and 3 Meridian cruisers. Its transforming surface couldn't settle on a shape that would effectively counter both the crystalline energy weapons and the human fleet's conventional armaments. Target their command and control node, Maya ordered. Everything we've learned about the Nexus suggests they can't operate effectively without central coordination. Time to cut off the head of the snake. The combined fleet focused their assault on the flagship. Human missiles carrying electromagnetic pulse warheads detonated in patterns that defied prediction, while Meridian energy beams refracted through the chaos to strike from impossible angles. The cubic vessel's surface began to fragment, its perfect geometry dissolving into irregular shapes. Then, in a cascade of systematic failures, it began to break apart. Nexus flagship critically damaged, Evans reported. Their remaining fleet is retreating. Dr. Chen's voice was filled with wonder. They're not just retreating. According to Meridian readings, they're completely withdrawing from this sector. The Nexus has never retreated before. They've never lost. Maya watched the machine fleet vanish into quantum space, leaving behind a battlefield strewn with the geometric debris of their defeated ships. Send word to Earth, she ordered. Tell them humanity just helped win an interstellar war by breaking all the rules of engagement. And someone get me a secure channel to Meridian Command. I think it's time we discuss the future of human-Meridian relations. As the adrenaline of battle faded, Maya looked out at the crystalline world it helped save. Humanity had proven itself on an interstellar stage, not through superior technology or overwhelming force, but through their unique ability to embrace chaos, to think illogically, to do the unexpected. The Nexus had learned a crucial lesson. In a universe of pattern and order, sometimes the most powerful force was human unpredictability. The days following the Battle of Meridian Prime transformed the relationship between humans and Meridians forever. In the crystalline halls of the Meridian High Council, Captain Maya Rodriguez stood beside Dr. Chen, facing the assembled alien leadership, beams of living crystal that shimmered with internal light as they moved. Your victory against the Nexus was unprecedented. First Speaker Lysara's crystalline form pulsed with colors that Dr. Chen's translator interpreted as amazement. We have fought them for generations, yet never conceived of using chaos as a weapon. Humans have a saying, Maya replied. The best defense is a good offense. But in this case, the best defense was pure unpredictability. The Meridian War Room had become a joint operations center, where human tactical officers worked alongside crystalline strategists to analyze the Nexus retreat. Holographic displays showed the Machine Empire's forces regrouping several sectors away, their perfect formations now showing signs of hesitation and uncertainty. They're adapting, Commander Park observed, studying the tactical feeds. The next encounter won't be as easy. We need to evolve our strategies faster than their algorithms can compute. Dr. Chen had been working closely with Meridian scientists, combining human intuition with crystalline precision. The Nexus operates on prediction models, she explained to the assembled leaders. They build responses based on analyzing patterns. But humans, we specialize in breaking patterns. The Meridian High Council resonated with harmonics that the translators struggled to interpret, their equivalent of intense debate. First Speaker Lysara finally addressed the human delegation. We propose an unprecedented alliance. Your species has shown not just courage, but a unique tactical advantage against our common enemy. We offer to share our technological knowledge in exchange for your creativity. Maya exchanged glances with Dr. Chen. This was more than they'd hoped for. Meridian technology was centuries ahead of Earth's in many areas. What exactly are you proposing? Integration. Lysara's crystal structure shifted into complex patterns. We will teach your ships to use our quantum crystalline technology. In return, your tactical officers will train our fleet commanders in human battle strategies. The next weeks saw an extraordinary exchange of knowledge and culture. Meridian engineers helped retrofit the human ships with crystalline computing cores, exponentially increasing their processing power. The Hyperion's hull was reinforced with living crystal that could adapt to enemy fire patterns, while its weapon systems were enhanced with Meridian energy-focusing technology. In return, human officers introduced the Meridians to concepts that had never occurred to their logical minds. Guerrilla warfare tactics, feints, and distractions, the art of bluffing. Ideas that seemed chaos incarnate to the crystalline beings, but which they began to understand and appreciate. It's like teaching chess masters to play poker, Maya commented to Dr. Chen as they watched a human tactical officer explain the concept of a false retreat to a group of fascinated Meridian commanders. But time was running out. Long-range sensors detected the Nexus fleet regrouping, their ships evolving new configurations designed to counter both human chaos and Meridian precision. They were learning, adapting, becoming more unpredictable themselves. They're trying to beat us at our own game, Maya observed during a strategy session. But they're still approaching chaos mathematically, trying to quantify unpredictability. That's their weakness. First Speaker Lysara's crystalline form sparkled with interest. Explain. They can simulate chaos, but they can't truly understand it. They're still looking for patterns, even in randomness. We need to show them true chaos, the kind that comes from genuine inspiration and human intuition. The combined fleet began practicing new tactics that merged human unpredictability with meridian precision. Crystal ships learned to move in formations that appeared random but contained hidden purpose. Human vessels, enhanced with meridian technology, developed the ability to shift battle strategies mid-fight based on gut instinct rather than computational analysis. The key, Maya explained to her crew, is that even we won't know what we're going to do until we do it. The moment we plan too carefully, we become predictable. The Meridians, despite their logical nature, proved remarkably adaptable. Their crystalline minds, capable of refracting thought like light, began to grasp the beauty in chaos. They learned to trust instinct alongside calculation, to see patterns in randomness while embracing unpredictability. As the combined fleet prepared for their next encounter with the Nexus, Maya stood on the Hyperion's observation deck, watching Meridian ships practice maneuvers alongside human vessels. The crystalline ships sparkled in the starlight, their movements now containing a fluidity that would have been impossible before. "We're not just teaching them tactics," Dr. Chen said, joining her at the window. "We're teaching them a new way of thinking. And they're teaching us that precision and chaos aren't mutually exclusive." Maya nodded, watching a Meridian cruiser execute a maneuver that seamlessly combined mathematical precision with unpredictable variation. "Together, we're becoming something neither of our species could have been alone." The Nexus wanted to impose perfect order on the galaxy. Instead, they'd helped create a whole new kind of order, one born from the marriage of chaos and precision. The fleet's sensors chimed in alert. The Nexus had been detected moving toward a populated system. The time had come to show the machines what this new alliance was truly capable of. 6 months after the Battle of Meridian Prime, the joint human-Meridian defense fleet gathered above Earth. The crystalline ships of the Meridians cast prismatic light across the orbital dockyards, where their technology had helped transform humanity's modest space fleet into something unprecedented in either civilization's history. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood in the newly redesigned bridge of the Hyperion, now a hybrid of human ingenuity and Meridian crystal tech. Through the quantum-enhanced view screens, she watched Earth's first extraterrestrial ambassadors descend to the planet's surface, a delegation of Meridian leaders, their crystalline forms carefully adapted to Earth's gravity and atmosphere. 3 years ago, we were still debating if alien life existed, Dr. Chen mused, monitoring the diplomatic feeds. Now we're hosting an interstellar alliance ceremony. The Nexus had been driven back to the edges of known space, their perfect geometric fleets shattered by the unpredictable tactics of the combined fleet. But victory had brought more than just peace. It had sparked an evolutionary leap for both civilizations. Final reports from the Frontier Defense Network, Commander Park announced. The quantum crystalline sensors are online. We'll have advance warning of any Nexus activity across 50 sectors. The network was just one example of what the two species had achieved together. Meridian crystal technology, guided by human intuition, had evolved in ways neither civilization had imagined possible. The crystalline beings had learned to embrace chaos as a creative force, while humanity had gained new appreciation for the underlying patterns in their own randomness. In the United Earth Council chamber, President Okonjo and First Speaker Lissara signed the Stellar Concordat, a document that would shape the future of both species. The agreement went far beyond military alliance, establishing frameworks for scientific cooperation, cultural exchange, and joint exploration of the galaxy. The Nexus sought to impose perfect order on the universe. Lissara's translated voice echoed through the chamber. In doing so, they revealed a greater truth, that true harmony comes not from eliminating chaos, but from finding balance between order and randomness, between calculation and intuition. President Okonjo nodded. Humanity has always believed that our greatest strength lies in our diversity, our adaptability, our willingness to embrace the unknown. Now we know we're not alone in that journey. Above Earth, the combined fleet prepared for its next mission. The Hyperion, along with 3 Meridian crystal ships and 2 other human vessels, would lead the first joint exploration mission beyond known space. Their goal was not just to map the galaxy, but to find other civilizations, other perspectives that could enrich their growing alliance. Maya gathered her crew for the pre-launch briefing. The human officers now worked seamlessly alongside their Meridian counterparts, their differences becoming strengths rather than barriers. When we first received the Meridian distress call, she began, many wondered what humanity could offer to a civilization centuries ahead of us technologically. Now we know that progress isn't just about advanced technology. It's about new ways of thinking, about combining different perspectives to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Dr. Chen, who had become the foremost expert in human Meridian relations, added, "The Nexus couldn't compute the value of diversity because they saw the universe as a problem to be solved, a system to be optimized. They never understood that the greatest discoveries come from embracing the unknown, from being willing to challenge even our most basic assumptions." As the fleet prepared for quantum jump, Maya received one final transmission from Earth. It was a simple message, but one that captured the spirit of everything they had achieved. Go forth not just as explorers or defenders, but as proof that the universe's greatest strength lies in its diversity. Show others what humanity and the Meridians have learned, that the future belongs not to those who seek to impose order or chaos, but to those who learn to dance between them. The Hyperion's quantum drive engaged, its crystalline components humming in harmony with human engineering. As they prepared to jump into the unknown, Maya thought about how far both civilizations had come. The Meridians had sought help in their darkest hour, and humanity had answered not just with force of arms, but with new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of seeing the universe. Together, they had proved that the greatest adventures begin not with certainty, but with the courage to embrace uncertainty. As the fleet disappeared into quantum space, they carried with them the legacy of 2 worlds, a legacy that would ripple across the galaxy, showing all who encountered it that the true power of civilization lies not in perfection, but in the beautiful, chaotic, endless dance of diversity and unity, of order and randomness, of logic and intuition. The universe, they had learned, was not a puzzle to be solved, but a mystery to be explored. And in that exploration, they had found not just allies, but a new understanding of what it meant to be alive in a cosmos full of endless possibilities.